So what do you think about this weather we're having? Cool. The only problem is tomorrow I understand that fire danger can be quite bad with all the wind, so be careful out there. Also, what about those Broncos? What do you think? All right. You know, I can't promise you that tonight's meeting is going to be quite as exciting as the Super Bowl, but it's going to be great, so stick around, okay? I want to welcome all of you and thank you so much for being here. A very special thanks to Blue Spruce Toys for their community support of tonight's meeting, and their information is on your flyer at the bottom of the first page. I'd also like to thank Conifer Jazzercise for providing the bottled water that is in the back. So there's coffee, cookies, and water in the back. So we want to thank Jazzercise for that. Now, our speakers tonight have been asked to present just the facts and not to support or oppose any development, issue, political agenda, individual person, or business. And most of you, I know, have been here several times. So you know the drill. But with our town hall meetings, there will be no campaigning, no questions or comments during the presentations. We're going to get a lot of information out to you in an hour. At 8 o'clock, though, there will be an open house segment, and you can ask all the questions that you would like to. And most of the presenters will still be here for that time period, and we even have others here that you can talk to. So what's going on around here? We have a bunch of community updates, and first of all, Melissa and Sharon, I think, are going to be with the Conifer Area Chamber, and they're going to give an update about the chamber.
Thank you. Evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well tonight. So first off, what I want to tell you about is that we are having a mixer tomorrow night at Centennial Bank. And these after-hour mixers, while they are kind of made for our businesses to help promote our businesses and networking with our business owners, we invite all of you to come because we would love for you to learn more about your businesses in your community and for you to meet the people who run and who work at them so that you can learn more and get to know them and help support them. So it's tomorrow night at Centennial Bank starting at 5 o'clock. It's $10. You get 2 drinks with that and some appetizers. Let me tell you, they really put out a good spread, so you want to be at that one. Oh, and I have to mention that Miss Debbie Aston is also one of our sponsors for that, so please come on out. We have a social media workshop next week if anyone's interested in learning more about Facebook. On February 25th, I'm actually going to be teaching that class at Conifer Community Church at 11:30. So if you would like to come and learn more about how to use Facebook better, come on out. You can sign up on the Go Conifer website, or you can email director@goconifer.com to get signed up for that one. We have our annual awards coming up next month. So all of our best and brightest have been nominated. Our Nonprofit of the Year, our Business of the Year, Home-Based Business of the Year, Rookie Business of the Year, Ambassador of the Year, and the Norm F. Meyer Award for Community Service. So we would like to invite you to please come to our website, goconifer.com, and vote for who you think is your favorite, who is the best, and let us know who you like to support in our community. And if you'd like to come to our awards banquet on March 11th, you're more than welcome. The tickets are just $25. And then last but not least, I want to mention we have several Facebook pages that we would like for you to like and support and to find more updates and keep up with what's going on. So we've got the whole list on our table over there. You can get more information too. And after that, I'm going to turn you over to Melissa, and she's going to tell you all about our best upcoming event.
Isn't Sharon great? She's one of our fabulous board members who also videotapes all of the town hall meetings. So can you guys give a round of applause for Sharon and all her We love My Mountain Town. If you're interested in seeing anything you missed from tonight's meeting, make sure you check out the video at My Mountain Town. All right, so we have, I know you're all going to laugh, we have our 285 Winterfest coming up. I know that's a little strange since the weather is really warm, but what that means is I should expect to see all of you out for this event because it will not be cold. We actually will have the 285 Winterfest this year no matter what. It starts off with our Mount Lugo Luge. We're in our fourth year with the luge. This is to celebrate the history of Conifer. Out at Myers Ranch, there used to be a ski resort called Mount Lugo, and so to celebrate that, a couple years ago, we started the Mount Lugo Luge, which is a snow tubing competition. If we are unable to have that competition, it will be at an alternate site, so make sure you check our Facebook page and also our chamber website to check out the alternate location. The date is February 27th. It is always the last Saturday in February. And it starts off in the morning at the luge. You can participate as a family or a team. If you're a family interested in participating, it is families between 2 and 6 people. And the cost is $25. The best part is you get a souvenir tube to keep, so you can use that for tubing throughout the season, and then also on the local creeks in the summertime. For teams, it's teams of 4, and each member of your team will receive a souvenir tube, and it's $40 per team. So the best part is we have awards for this competition, so bring out your best. It's for fastest, best costume, and best aerial dismount, which is a lot of fun. We encourage you, even if you're not interested in participating in the luge, come out and support your neighbors and friends and family. It's a really, really fun event to promote the history in Conifer at our biggest resource in Conifer. I always like to tease that our sledding hill is just to Conifer what the Evergreen Lake is to Evergreen. The best part about this is this year we've added an après-tube event at Aspen Park Village. That is the center with Mountain Books and Sage Door and Luda's Mandela. We will have a snowman carving competition. This will also happen. We've already tested. We're good to go with the weather, so it's a lot of fun. Come out and vote for your favorite snowman. That will be from 11 to 4. There will also be a craft beer crawl. You can taste some of your favorite craft beers at the local shops at Aspen Park Village, and it will feature the new brewery that's going in Bailey, Mad Jack's Mountain Brewery, and also El Rancho that's opened up over in Evergreen. So if you're interested in tasting either one of those breweries, it's really neat because you can go in and visit the shops there and then also taste the beer. This is a free beer tasting. Free. Let's see, what else do we have going on? There's a punch card that you can get that will enter you into different door prizes that are available. So there's the snowman carving, there's the beer tasting, there's the punch card, and then, oh yeah, we have a free family movie for kids and families. We are presenting Frozen at Stage Door. So again, it's free. Come on out, February 27th, 11 to 4 at Aspen Park Village, and at Meyer Ranch starting at 10 a.m. If you're interested in more information, come talk to Sharon after the meeting or www.goconifer.com. Sorry, I'm fighting a cold. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it, and hope to see you on the 27th.
Thanks, you guys. There's a lot going on. Okay, next we have Suzy Nelson. She's just going to talk a little bit about the Conifer area development updates that you have in your packet of information. Suzy?
Thank you, Shirley. Okay, there's not too much new stuff going on. However, the Comprehensive Master Plan, which is a 285 corridor document that is a guideline for development and any kind of new construction and all kinds of rules and regs associated with that, was adopted by the Planning Commission and the commissioners on just the other night or last week on the 10th of February. It was adopted by the county. There also is a zoning proposition to amend Section 3 of the zoning resolution to allow for accommodations for disabilities, and it's still in the planning stages, and the information where to contact is Russell Clark if you're interested in finding out more about that. There's also going to be a noxious weed presentation down the hill in Golden at the Taj, or in one of those buildings that's nearby. Let's see, the Ponderosa Room. No, I think it's right there at the Taj Mahal, and that's Wednesday, March 2nd in the evening. And all homeowners are welcome to come and check out all the noxious weeds that you might find in your yard. Commercial development, new application for playcations and picnics to go on Upper Ridge Road. There was a community meeting on February 4th, and I think that they want to rezone to allow seasonal camping and a commercial catering kitchen. And the update that I have here is that St. Malo, I think it's called, Retreat Center off of South Elk Creek Road. And they want to, it's a 247-acre tract, and it's pending formal application. So that application has not been actually presented yet to the county, but they want to make it into a religious retreat. I think a relocation from the one that was up in Allen's Park that got washed out by the flood a couple of years ago. There's one other new application, and it's a rezoning for 12077 Elk Trail Road. And there's going to be, if they want to rezone it from residential 1 to agricultural 1, there's a community meeting tomorrow night on Blackfoot Road at 6 o'clock. So that's about it, and if you want any more information on this sheet that you got when you walked in, just go onto the county website and you can read about all the updates. Thank you.
Thanks, Suzy. There's a lot going on and you have the numbers to call. Okay, next we have a presentation from CDOT. We have Janna and Jill and Ben here to give a short update on what all is happening with CDOT.
Good evening, everyone. I am Janna Spyker, and I'm a resident engineer with CDOT, and part of my area of responsibility includes the 285 corridor here in your community. And so we just like to come and give you some updates about what's going on in the area and things that could impact your corridor. And so tonight I brought two of my fellow engineers, Jill Stott with our ITS department and Ben Keeney with our traffic operations group, and they're going to discuss some work that they have coming out of their departments that will be going on up here. So,
thank you, Janna. Hi, my name is Jill Scott. I just wanted to let you know that my department at CDOT does the 24/7 Traffic Operations Center. We have operators there 24/7 that help warn people about road closures, and they watch cameras that we build. So we wanted to let you know that we're going to be starting on 285 this spring. We'll be working only from C470 to Tiny Town. So we won't really be up in your area necessarily in Conifer, but we wanted to let you know that we'll be trenching fiber optic cable right along the north side of 285. And again, that's just from C470 to Tiny Town. But hopefully that's the beginning of a long relationship that we're going to build with this highway. We'd like to get fiber optic cable to Fairplay someday, get some traffic cameras on the road so we can warn you guys about highway closures and weather and traffic conditions. So if you have any questions about that, we'll be here after. Thanks.
Thanks, Jill. I'm Ben Keeney with CDOT Regional 1 Traffic Operations, and I just wanted to let you know about a few small traffic projects we have coming up pretty soon. The first of those is planned for next week, actually. We're going to put in a final speed limit on the portion of 285 from Pine Junction to just west of Kings Valley Road. That will mostly permanently install the temporary speed reduction we had in there for construction last year. The limits of the speed zones will be from Pine Junction to Schaefer's Crossing will be changed to 50 miles per hour from 55. And from Schaefer's Crossing to just west of Kings Valley Drive, we'll go from 55 to 45. Actually, it's already posted that way right now. So, next project we have coming up, actually bids tomorrow, and we're replacing pretty much every sign along 285 from Pine Junction to Morrison. So the things you'll probably notice will be improved warning signs, improved guide signs. We're actually going to be adding street name signs in advance of each of the major intersections. Later this year, we'll have our restriping project coming through, putting in high durability, high visibility pavement markings throughout the corridor. And finally, we have a little upgrade to the Pine Junction traffic signal plan. We'll be adding improved detection to make that intersection operate more efficiently. And that should happen in late summer. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. That was a good update. There's a lot going on. Okay, next we have Allison Bailey. She's with the Conifer Library, and she's going to just give a little update about the library.
Hello,
is Allison Bailey. I'm with the Conifer Library, like she said. So we're located in the Conifer High School. We are open from 2:30 to 8 p.m. That's Monday through Thursday. Right now, we're closed on Fridays, but starting on April 4th, we have new expanded hours. We'll be open Fridays. We'll be open at 9 a.m. starting on Saturdays, and we'll remain open noon to 5 on Sundays. Right now at the library, we have a number of things going on, such as our all ages story time. That's every Saturday morning at 11:15 a.m. And we're at the Mountain Resource Center every second Monday of the month doing story time there. That's at 11 a.m. We have a book group hosted by the lovely Lauren Drabble. They meet the last Tuesday of the month at 6:30. Their next meeting is on February 23rd, and they'll be discussing Redeployment by Phil Clay. We have the Lego Club, which is the second Thursday of the month at 4, and we provide the Legos and a theme, but you guys can build whatever you like. We also have computer classes. We have one coming up on this Saturday at 12:30 p.m. That's a class on Internet Basics. Then we have 2 more happening in March. That'll be the 2nd and the 4th Saturday. One of those is about Microsoft Word Basics, and the next is a study session, so you can come bring your work and get some help. There'll be somebody, an expert there for you. We have a high altitude gardening class on April 30th at 1:30 p.m. Then starting in May, we have 2 great new programs coming up. Free art classes, the 1st and 3rd Tuesdays of the month at 6. The first class is on May 3rd. Those are taught by Chris McAllister, who is a professional artist and illustrator. And we have a craft circle. The first meeting will be May 5th at 4:30. It'll be the first Thursday of the month. And that you need to bring your own supplies. Any crafts are welcome. We have somebody who is versed in sewing, crochet, knitting, who can help out. But the main thing is to just be social. That's all I've got. Thank you so much.
Gosh, lots going on. Where can they find, do you have information here? Is it on your website?
Flyers for everything. Our website, jeffersoncountypubliclibrary.com. If you go onto the main page and click on Conifer Library, it has all our upcoming programs.
Thank you. I don't think everybody will remember all that. Okay, and next we have Tina Francone, who is our director for RTD. Tina.
Well, good evening. You know, I always love coming up here because it's always a big crowd. So I am Tina Francone. I am your elected representative to the RTD board representing District N. I like to say it's from Platte Canyon to Pine. So we have some exciting new openings this year in 2016. We have the Flatiron Flyer that goes from Denver to Boulder, and that opened on January the 3rd. We have the long-awaited University of Colorado A line that will go to the airport, and that opens on April 22nd. The B line from Denver to South Westminster is scheduled to open in summer of 2016. The G line from Denver to Arvada and Wheat Ridge opens in the fall of 2016, and the R line that travels through Aurora is scheduled to open end of 2016. So some things that you might be interested in, the University of Colorado, the A line, it's about a 37-minute trip from Denver Union Station to the airport. It runs about every 15 to 30 minutes from 3 a.m. to 1 a.m. depending on the time of day. There'll be 7 stations along the route, and probably what you want to know most is how do you use it. Probably the easiest way to do that is to go down to the Jefferson County Government Center, the Taj, and pick up the W line there into Denver Union Station, and then from Denver Union Station straight out to the airport. You probably all know that we did implement a fare change, a fare raise in January. That was the first fare increase that RTD has had in the last 5 years. But the new fares are actually good for us in the, I like to say in the hinterlands, because we're not in Denver. So the regional fare went down to $4.50 from $5, And that's the regular fare. For seniors and for students, that's half price. So that's what you'll be looking at. And other exciting things, we have the smart card that's rolling out. So it'll be a reusable card. You can load funds onto that and use it over and over and over again. And real-time information. It's not quite ready for the regional buses, but we expect to have it by the end of the year. So you can pull up an application on your phone and find out when the next bus is coming, or more importantly, where that bus is that you want to get on. So back here at the table back here, I have business cards. So you please, if you have bus or train issues, I'll encourage you to call me or send me an email. I have cards back there. I do have the new schedules for the new 5 lines. I have water bottles and squishy buses back there, so please help yourself. Thank you.
Thanks, Tina. Those squishy buses look pretty fun. You better go get one. Okay, so next, I know there's been a lot of questions by everyone that I talked to. What's going on with the Kings Valley Shopping Center? Bill Downs, who is the realtor for the shopping center, is here to give an update of what has happened in the past and also what is going to be happening in the future. Bill.
Good evening, all. I think many of you already know me. Let's see, I'm a commercial broker. I'm also the incoming district governor for Rotary, but that's another time. Today, we're talking about Kings Valley. And I am pleased to announce that we're actually going to have life in Kings Valley. But let me give you a little background before I get into that. Let me give you a little background on how we got to where we are. The bank that had the construction loan on Kings Valley when they were building it went belly up, right? And so another bank from Europe bought out that bank. In the meantime, the market crashed, right? So there was no justification for restarting it. So that bank, the European bank, sat on it for all these years until a couple of guys from Idaho saw the project, liked the project, and said, we're going to make this work. And so that's what's happening now. I office in that property around back. The offices are ground level offices, and they're reached around back if you haven't been there. The center size is about 55,000 square feet. And it may be hard to see. I have kind of some diagrams here that depict it, and you'll see some red X's. I don't know if you can see from where you are. The red X's are where we have commitments on space. So you can see that we have commitments on 5 different kinds of space. We also have, down below here, you'll see some executive suites. So we also have single offices there. So you've got a full range of options of different kinds of things. The people we have coming in there include a liquor store. There's going to be a restaurant on the west end up top. It's got just a dynamite view of Pikes Peak. There are 2 other businesses that are around here, are already here, that are moving in there. One has 50 employees, but I can't disclose who they are. Generally, I think you're going to see that center fill in, and it's going to be quite the place once it does. You know what Conifer's like. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, steady, patient work. But if you know of anybody that is interested in moving, if you know anybody that's moving to the area that wants a good location, then maybe you would suggest that they come talk to me, and I'll be happy to show them anything there. We have space ranging from, like I said, single office up to, say, 11,000 square feet. There are targeted things that we are looking at. We've not had an easy time getting them. One is an urgent care. I know we'd love to see an urgent care up there. And we just haven't found the right connection yet to make that happen. We have a ton of space up there, so I think it would be an ideal opportunity for somebody. And, I just got a call from a phys ed place, a workout place, who's very seriously considering that. So you'll see that it's going to fill in with the typical kinds of things that you would expect to see in a small strip center like that. And I'm kind of jazzed about it. The property inside is very nice. It all has high ceilings. It can be built to suit, and and the rates are generally lower than what you would find in Aspen Park. The rates, quite frankly, decrease as you move further away from Denver, but the rates are more competitive than some of the that you might find in, say, King Soopers or in New Safeway. So really, that's kind of what's happening there. You will see things happening this summer, definitely. You'll see people moving in there, and you'll see life back in Kings Valley. Thank you.
And Bill is going to be up here during the open house segment, so you can come up here and maybe see those X's a little bit better and talk to them a little bit more about what they're doing. Okay, well next we have, as you know, we have a new grocery store in town, Natural Grocers. And so we wanted to invite them to come up and let us know some of the things that they're doing. And we thought, gosh, we've also got to, invite Safeway and Kings. Janette Rohwedder with Safeway was unable to come here tonight, though. Unfortunately, she'll probably be represented at the next town hall meeting in April. But first, I would like to introduce you to Jess Sorci. And Jess is, I'm going to let her tell you what she does. And she's going to tell you a little bit about what they have available, but maybe some of the others don't. And then we'll have Kings come up too. Okay.
Good evening. My name is Jess Sorci, and I am the nutritional health coach at the new Natural Grocers up here in Conifer. How many of you guys have been in to see the new store? Awesome, great. So I thought I saw some familiar faces. But tonight I just kind of wanted to tell you guys a little bit about how we're different than some of the other grocers. So one of the main ways that we are different is that all of our produce is 100% USDA organic. We also strive to provide the best quality meats and dairy products. And one way we do that is that none of our meats contain antibiotics or hormones. No animal byproducts are in the feed of those animals. And they're never given hormones either. So that has a great impact on our health. So that's one way that we stand out. In addition to that, in 2016, we removed all dairy coming from confinement cows. So if you guys know anything about farming, you know that confinement cows can be quite unhealthy. So, and then when we eat that, we can become unhealthy. So we definitely don't carry any of those products as well. So our goals are to really support health, and one way that we do that is our first founding principle, which is science-based nutrition education. And that's where I come into play. And it's the most important part of my job is educating the community. So tonight I just wanted to tell you about some of the services that I offer at the store, if you're in. One of which is free nutrition education classes. So if you guys have been in the store, you've seen our class handout of the cash registers. These are all of the free classes that are offered to the community on a weekly basis. You just show up, you come in, oftentimes there's free food involved, and you get to learn about how to take care of your body and different health issues. In addition to that, I also do free nutritional coaching sessions. So if you go out into the community and pay a nutritionist, you're looking at $75 an hour. I provide that service to the community of Conifer for free. So if you have some dietary issue you're trying to deal with, you can come see me, we can sit down, and I can help you on your journey, which is really pretty cool. So I just wanted to give you guys a shout out, tell you what I do. If you own a business, work at a school, or have any need for someone to come into your place for nutrition education, I can do that as well. So there's a lot of different services that I offer. Tomorrow night I'll be teaching paleo wraps, so getting away from the bread habit and how that supports our health. So if you're interested, stop by 5:30 to 6:30 tomorrow. You can also get our class schedule online at naturalgrocers.com/CF for Conifer. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Jess. And next we have Eric Scott, who is the manager at the King Soopers, and he's here to talk a little bit about Kings.
Hi, good evening. I want to thank the council for inviting me. I got a little slideshow. Okay, so my name is Eric Scott. I came up with the King Soopers in July. I took over for Dave Rogers. A lot of folks know who he is, I think. Anyway, Dave was the first manager of that location that we built in 2004, and I'm the second store manager that's been there. Real quick about myself, I've been with King Soopers 32 years. My grandfather's with the company for almost 50 years. I was a combat veteran in Panama, and I went to the University of Colorado and got my degree in accounting. So I enjoy working in the community. I've looked forward to coming up to Conifer for a long time, and I wanted to share with you tonight kind of our philosophy about giving in the communities, and I have some numbers about how much money we raised last year for the Conifer community through the gift card program. Okay, so supporting our community is something that's important to the King Soopers family. In 2015, for the entire division, we raised $260,000, over $260,000 for the virtual food boxes. $1.5 million was raised for the Salvation Army, and over $11 million was raised for schools, youth programs, and nonprofits. We have 147 stores in our chain. We go from Cheyenne to New Mexico. We support our community in several locations. One of the big ones that we do is for the Denver Rescue Mission. There are several locations other than just Denver proper, and we do a lot of work with them. They have 6 different locations throughout Denver and 2 in northern Colorado. Other fundraising that we're highly active with are the breast cancer research, American Cancer Society, the Susan G. Komen fundraisers, Mercy Health, Bosom Buddies, the Community Health Foundation of Pine Junction, and St. Mary's Hospital. The Hunger Campaign is something that we do several times a year. We're big supporters of 9 Cares, Colorado Shares. We hold several fundraising drives, and one of them we do up here at least twice a year up here at the Conifer store. So why do we give? 1 in 5 kids in Colorado live in food insecure homes, something that we take very seriously. We're big into the Salvation Army, especially during the holidays, to raise money. And like I said before, King Soopers and the City Market Group have raised over $1.5 million in 2015 for them. The biggest thing that we see with the Salvation Army is that 98 cents of every dollar goes directly to those in need. And that's important for that percentage. $1 in donations also creates 4 meals. And again, we're big on the perishable donations. We do a lot of work with the Food Bank of the Rockies. I have a couple of pictures of just some of the events that we do. Our president, Russ Dispense, is very active in the community, and that's Russ on the right. The breast cancer awareness too, we gave over $300,000 given for the fight against breast cancer this year alone. And of course, the Susan G. Komen race every year, we're big sponsors of that. The diabetes walk, and personally, my daughter, I have a young daughter who's got type 1. I'm actively involved in the diabetes walk every year. And then the food bank, like I said, I've even personally volunteered at the food bank, so we're a very rewarding experience. So together with our associates and our customers, we've also provided 285,000 school supplies for students for the new year. And the Children's Hospital we're active with in the USO as well. One of the big projects that we do is also raise money for Outdoor Lab, and we raised over $11 million for the Colorado Youth Program. So that includes the Outdoor Lab program and other outsourced school programs in the other districts. So the real one that I wanted to show or to share with you tonight is we have raised this much money, and I hope you can read it, last year for these organizations. Conifer High School Instrumental, they raised over $12,000. The Michael S. Jacobs Foundation raised over $37,000. And just as an example, these are the groups that participate in the fundraising with the gift cards, and this is the money that we raised. I invite everybody to come out Saturday. The Pink Lifesaver Mammography Coach is going to be out at our place from 9 to 3 this coming Saturday. And that's it.
Thank you, Eric. I'm always amazed at how much I don't know about what goes on in this community. It's amazing. Okay, well next we have Danielle Heller. She's going to be talking a little bit about the arts immersion and alternative school option. Very exciting. So, Danielle.
Thank you. So excited to see everybody in the audience this evening. Some of you might know me. I'm from Peak Academy of Dance. Hello, Peak. And so it's just really, really nice to be able to bring this to our area. Quick little bit of history. My daughter is a dancer, and she went down, and I'm obviously a dancer as well, and she went down to DSA, Denver School of the Arts, down in Denver for several years, and it was a real trek for us. It was really hard. We tried to partner with some families up here to be able to get that drive, but sometimes we were in the car for up to 2 hours, and sometimes it was even worse. Sometimes we just turned around and came home. And so one of the things that I realized is that in Jefferson County alone, we have about 100 students that leave every year to go down to Denver School of the Arts. And with that knowledge, I have been looking for an alternative solution because we have so many after-school arts programs here. And I kept saying to myself, why can't we get some K-12 education that actually focuses on the arts? So last year, through a variety of interesting coincidences, I found an organization that was opening a high school, a middle school and a high school curriculum that is called blended learning. And it means that the students in this middle school, high school, do part of their work online and the other part they do site-based. And it was called Arts Immersion. And so this year, 4 of my dancers piloted it. And if you're interested in actually a little bit more information, you can go to High Timber Times. Page 24 actually did a full write-up on what we were doing. So we piloted it this year, but next year we're bringing the entire program into the studio. And we will have 4 tracks available. We will have a dance arts track, we will have a theater arts track, a film arts track, and a circus arts track. We will be the first ones in the state to offer this. There are different satellites throughout the state. The 2 satellites that are running right now are down in Colorado Springs and in Denver, and we will be the 3rd satellite coming on to the scene. It is a completely tuition-free program, tuition-free. So it's an amazing arts education opportunity for students that want an alternative to the traditional high school or the traditional middle school. We will start with grade 7 and go to grade 12. And we also have, auditions that will be coming up. So our first parent meeting for parents that are interested in finding out about this will be this Friday at 7:30 at the studio. And then we will have auditions the next 2 Saturdays. So we will have the circus and dance audition from 1 to 4 on the 27th of February. And then we will have the film and theater on the 5th. So please feel free to reach out to me at Peak Academy of Dance, or you can find me after the meeting. Thank you.
Very exciting. Okay, then we have Paul Ogle here to talk just a little bit about the Relay for Life. That's a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. Paul.
Thank you, Shirley. My name is Paul Ogle, and it's great to see so many people here. We had a few more than in December when the weather was terrible. Way too many people have died in my life and been taken by cancer. How many people here, raise your hand, have had somebody, a friend, a neighbor, a relative, or somebody you know that's been touched by cancer? Raise your hand. Look around. That's almost everybody. It's the way it is. I also noticed that in the King Soopers list, American Cancer Society was listed as second. It is the largest, actually, organization doing research to fight cancer and to provide services, direct services here in Colorado to people who have cancer, those people who have trouble getting to treatment centers, going to the hospital to get treatments. They help in many, many ways. I hate cancer. It's just taken so many people in my life, and so I decided I want to do something. And we restarted the Relay for Life here 4 years ago. You may have seen something about it. We are partnering with Evergreen, so we call it the Mountain Area Relay for Life. And it's a way to raise cancer. And we don't have quite the big numbers that King Soopers does here in the mountains, but we have raised $50,000. I would point out that the biggest single contribution that comes out of that is half of it goes up to do research at Colorado State University at Greeley, where they have a cancer research part of the university where scientists go and do research. We invite those guys to come down and give a little presentation to people here in Conifer, to the mountains, to tell us what's going on in research. And these are the people that show up every day and do it. And it's fascinating. And we're going to have them come in May and June. We'll have a couple of, so look at the High Timber Times. We'll have some notices in there. The High Timber Times, Evergreen Newspapers is going to be a partner again this year and publish a lot of what's going on. And so you'll find it absolutely fascinating what's going on up at CSU. And then finally, consider participating. All you got to do is come by. People think the relay is some kind of a race or something. No, I'm 70, and my team, we walk around the track twice, and that's what we do. And enjoy the event and enjoy all the things that go on. There's a survivor's walk. I'm a survivor. There is a walk to do different things where you just walk around and visit with people, walk around the track and visit with people. This year, some of you I know make notes about dates. This year the relay will be August 12th, and it's a Friday evening, and we will go. Because we involve a lot of kids from Conifer High School and Evergreen High School, we do stay up all night, and of course, ask a high school kid if he wants to go over and have a party all night. And we do walk around, and we have lots of events for those people. We actually have jazzercise sessions going at midnight, all kinds of interesting things to do. But consider coming and stopping by. We are going to have a kickoff here in Conifer on April 17th, which is a Sunday. It's going to be over at Brooks. And you can come by between 5 and 7 and learn more, sign up. We'll have computers there so you can join a team so you can do things. This is really a low commitment kind of an effort, but we can fight cancer. We've given $50,000 so far from the mountains up here to fight cancer. Half of that went to do research, as I said. It's a way to do something. Cancer is insidious because it just preys on your mind. What can I do? And this is something you can do. You can fight back a little bit. So those are the dates. We're also going to have one over there. Okay, Angela, I need to get off the stage. As the father of a Jeffco deputy, I'm anxious to get these guys up here and do their thing. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. We'll be hearing a lot more about that before August, I'm sure. Okay, now we have an update from the Jeffco Sheriff's Department. We're going to be talking about we can help prevent crime and be prepared for any emergency. Dionne Waugh was supposed to be here, but she is very, very sick, I understand. So Sheriff Gordon Neuenfeld is going to do the entire presentation, maybe, if he can find it. Are we close? Okay. Here you go.
Thank you very much. As she said, my name is Gordon Neuenfeld with the Jeffco Sheriff's Office. I'm part of our crime prevention unit. The goal of the Crime Prevention Unit is to educate you on things you can do to try to reduce the opportunity for crime to be in your lives and quality of life. So what I wanted to do is give you a quick overview of some of our social media aspects of what we put out to the community under the aspect that knowledge is power. That is what it all comes down to. So I want to talk to you first about the new face of the Neighborhood Watch. If you think that the Neighborhood Watch is this, it is not. We do not advocate that. The new face of the Neighborhood Watch, I kind of call it Neighborhood Watch 2.0, is Nextdoor.com. Just a quick show of hands. How many people know about Nextdoor or on Nextdoor? Not many. Okay, then I'm glad I'm here. Nextdoor.com has proved that the old Neighborhood Watch, as we had it, is obsolete. It is a free service. You sign up for it, and it's like a Facebook for your neighborhood. But the beauty of it is, from our standpoint, is we can send out crime alerts and information to you on a very timely basis. So you sign up, you have to prove that you do live where you live. It's not somebody from Jersey or something like that. It's trying to be in this in your neighborhood. They're vetted through like a postcard that comes to your house. You get invited in, and then send the postcard back, and you're ready to go. You'll get information about whatever you want to know: bake sales, lost dogs, somebody took my bike, suspicious vehicle in a neighborhood. But from our aspect, it has to do with crime prevention. So it can show up on your phone. Love them or hate them, smartphones are here to stay. So you can have it come through as a text alert. It comes through almost immediately. And I've gotten extremely fast response from the citizens, which tells me that we're getting out to folks at a real-time basis on Nextdoor for information. Now, when I first started posting in May, there was 8,700 people. I put something out yesterday, there's over 15,300 people on it countywide. That shows the exponential growth of the whole thing. This is a post I put out yesterday. It had to do with a scam for a grandparent who lost thousands of dollars. And it's constant education that we try to let people know about, be it burglaries, car break-ins, whatever the issue is. This shows where current places are that already exist up here. So there's a good possibility that you probably already have something in your neighborhood. So it's worth going on and taking a look to see if that can be of service to you. Some of the other things we do, and it all comes down to not everybody gets all their information in the same manner. So we have Facebook, which we put out almost daily posts about things. Our Twitter feed is more for breaking information, and it all comes down to, again, knowledge is power. How best can you be informed about what is going on in your life? We also have an Instagram account, which has a lot of pictures and video. We're doing a lot of stuff with the Academy right now. Also wanted to educate you on Code Red. Code Red is the new reverse notification system, and especially up in the mountains, for fires and the like, being on this is something that I would feel would be mandatory. It's all free, you sign up, you can put on for weather alerts, and that is where you're going to get the get out, lock down, evacuate information like that. Smart 911. Smart 911 is pretty much geared toward people with cell phones, and also you can put it in your home phone, but you can put information about your residents, a photograph of your resident. If you have family members that are housebound, on heavy medications, any information like that, it's only available to law enforcement. It will only show up for 30 minutes while 911 comes in and activates. Normally on your cell phone, it'll say wireless caller or Verizon and a number. That'll have whatever information, which is also accessible to fire personnel as well. So it's very valuable information for whatever you want to put on there. You can put pictures of your house, your kids, your pets, all that information. Only available to law enforcement. And does everybody know that you can actually text 911 now? As of May, within Jefferson County, and you can kind of see it, it's not the best map, but in the green area it shows Colorado. It's expanding, it's not everywhere yet, but you can now text to 911, and their ad campaign was, call us if you can, text us if you must. So we now have that service available as well. And it can be handed off to other counties. I also have emergency preparedness information. The basics of that are 3 days, 72 hours. Have enough water, medications, food, whatever you need to sustain for 3 days. 72 hours is the key. I know this is kind of quick. I threw a lot of stuff out. I'll be at our table in the back. I can answer any questions that you want. And if anybody, the first person who gets the acronym on my own bag back there, you get a special prize. And that's what I have. Thank you.
Thank you, that was very informative. It's great. Okay, as most of you probably know, John Kaiser, who has been our state representative and who has also been at many of our town hall meetings, has resigned to run for the U.S. Senate race. And so I would like to introduce to you tonight our new state representative, Tim Leonard.
Thank you. I'm John Light. I'm a little smaller than John, shorter I should say. My name is Tim Leonard, and I'm from Evergreen. And John informed everyone of his stepping down in order to give full-time attention to running for the U.S. Senate on the 11th of January. And the session had just started, and he was going to have his last day be on the 25th. And so the vacancy committee, which was made of about 25 people, quickly went out and started to gather names of people that were interested in stepping in for him to finish this session, and then it's a 2-year term, and then he would be up for re-election in November. So I huddled with my family, and I had run 6 years ago for Senate District 16, which included all of House District 25, which is what we're in. Plus another 5 other counties, Jefferson plus 6 other counties. So I was pretty well known, and maybe a lot of you have seen my signs years ago, 6 years ago. So anyway, the vacancy committee had about 12 applicants. When we got down to it, it was about 8 of us. And within 2 weeks, they selected me, and I was very fortunate to be able to be honored to replace John and represent you in 25. So the session had already started. I got sworn in on the 3 days later. That was on Saturday. So on the Tuesday, I was sworn in, and John had 3 bills that were in. I'm going to continue one of them, which has to do in our district with the private water company and the PUC approval. A little bit complicated in the statutes, but something that I feel comfortable with, so I'm continuing that for him and for our district, and it's been great. I'll give you a little bit of background of me. I'm a commercial real estate developer. I've been in commercial real estate for all my life, for 30 years. I own my own company, and I also do consulting work for the municipalities. I have a very narrow niche. I'm probably the only one that does it in the whole Denver metro area that actually helps municipalities negotiate against developers when they come in looking for subsidies or taxpayer money that's what I consider over and above what a project needs. So I do a lot of urban renewal consulting or metro district consulting, a lot of financing, and do pro formas. I have an MBA from University of Denver, and before that I went to school at Hillsdale College in Michigan, and I really enjoy the finance part and also education. A few years ago, I was one of the founding members of Golden View Classical Academy, which opened in Golden. It's the first Jefferson County charter school that's a classical education, but the largest that opened with 500 kids. So it took us about 2 years to write everything and get all the curriculum done and negotiate with our board And then we opened this last year, so we have the first class, it's a K through 10, and we'll open 11 and then 12, so it'll be K through 12 in 2 years. And we're just off of I-70 at Colfax, 6th Avenue, I-70 right there. So kids are great. I have 3 kids that go there. I have 6 kids total, 2 are in college, 2 are in high school, and 2 are in grade school. So I live in Evergreen, and we've lived in Kittredge for 18 years and another 5 years in Evergreen. So I'm happy to be representing you. In the last 12 days, we've had our being open to constituents. Genesee's had all these power outages, and so I've been able to help them step in and help them with Excel. So my number one goal is to be able to get up to speed in the legislature with reading the bills, so that I don't embarrass people with what I don't know and what I'm up to speed with on voting properly. And then my next highest goal is to be able to say hello to constituents and be able to have residents know me and feel very open to calling me anytime or writing me anytime. I do have an aide, which was a miracle to be able to have somebody to help me out on a lot of the paperwork. But my style is always voting for constitutional government. That's my number one concern. I'm big on fiscal responsibility and making sure that the government stays doing what it's supposed to do. So it's nice because our House and our Senate are pretty balanced, so pretty much all the bills and things are not non-controversial, but they're pretty productive bills, and we've been able to make some good progress. So thank you very much for giving me the time to introduce myself and say hello, and I'll be here afterwards so we can talk and give you my card. Feel free to contact me anytime. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Tim. Okay, I have a couple of announcements before we go to the open house segment. First of all, caucus night, you've been hearing that a lot on the TV, I'm sure. Caucus night here is March 1st. The Republican caucus will be here, and I believe the Democratic caucus will be at the high school. You should be there about 6:30 for registration. I believe they start at 7. But, call or, look at the newspapers or whatever to find out all of the information on that, to be involved in that. Okay, so all of our speakers, or most of our speakers tonight, will be at a table around the room for you to go talk to them, ask questions, comments. They have brochures, they have their cards, displays. We also have, other than speakers, Laura Drabble is here from the Intermountain Humane Society over here. We have Angela Lasano has tickets for the Rotary St. Patrick's fundraiser. She'll be back in the back. And then Melanie Daly is here from the Mountain Resource Center. She'll be over here with the display. And she has information on what is offered there, but also how you can be involved and volunteer. So please stick around, talk to all the presenters and everybody else that is here with information. I would like to again thank Blue Spruce Toys for their community support of tonight's town hall meeting. And especially I want to thank you all for being here. Our next town hall meeting is April 20th, and I hope to see you all here again that night. Thank you very much, and have a nice time here.